Realme fitted the 15 Pro with a 144Hz 4D curved display, three 50-megapixel cameras, Snapdragon 7 Gen 4, a 7000 mAh battery with an 80-watt charger inside the box. But specs are only one side of the story, which is why we are here with our detailed Realme 15 Pro review to help you make the informed choice. Starting with the box, you have the charger, cable, a ribbed case, SIM tool and the phone inside it. So you only need a screen guard to get started with the device. Now, the Realme 15 Pro is seriously slim at just 7.69 mm, especially because it fits a massive 7000 mAh cell. The weight distribution is also spot on, and that makes this phone feel light, and you might think that the back and the camera bump are two different materials, but this is one piece back and it looks and feels good. The camera bump is very pronounced because the rest of the phone is razor slim. Now, speaking of the camera bump, budget phones usually have one or two dummy cutouts to look more expensive, but Realme has done that with a 30K phone. And if you think it's okay because it will be the smaller bump of the two, you're in for a surprise because this big bump here is the dummy. Why Realme? Why would you do that to a perfectly good looking phone? Other than this dummy cutout, the phone looks good, feels good and commands a sense of premium for the price. And this pulse light here is also kind of a hitter. And on top of all of this, you get IP66, 68 and 69 rating, which also means it is good to use in rain or on a beach day. 144Hz 6.8-inch display with 6000 nits peak brightness. In our testing, outdoor visibility is great and the colors are punchy. There's HDR10 support and the screen has a sense of depth and premium to it. HDR content uses the full potential of this display, giving you great colors and detail. And the bezels are also even and narrow at all sides, and you won't really have any complaints from this screen. This also gets Corning Gorilla Glass 7i, which means minor scuffs and scratches are not an issue. The dimming is also solid for low light use, so minimum brightness plus dark mode plus eye care feature and you're good to go for late night chats and social media scrolling. At the back here, the Realme 15 Pro's wide as well as ultra wide are 50 megapixel sensors, and the selfie camera is also a 50 MP shooter. All three cameras can take 4K 60 FPS videos, and this main camera is especially good. The 4K videos are stable, sharp, and it deals very well with changing subjects as well as the focus switching. That is very fast. Photos are also crisp and sharp, and you don't need to touch the focus or exposure most of the time. Low light shots are decent, like this shot of India Gate from a moving car separates motion and object pretty well. However, night shots could have been better as it is really easy to get blurry pictures from this phone. The ultra wide also captures a lot of detail and you can zoom into images a lot before you see any real detail loss. However, ultra wide videos have noticeable shakes and you can stabilize them in the Photos app. Onto the selfie camera, this too is a 50 megapixel shooter but a much more compact sensor, so the results are detailed but not as detailed as the main or the ultra wide. And while it is good to have 4K 60 FPS on video up front, you can only get 1080p if you use stabilization feature. This phone also gets several portrait presets, and add this fill light to the mix and you get good low light portrait shots. In outdoor usage too, you get good edge detection and background separation most of the time. But all said and done, there are visible AI corrections, but this is a decent camera system for the price and you will get pretty consistent results from it. Now, like I said in the beginning, the Realme 15 Pro has great specs on paper, and that continues in the performance segment too. Snapdragon 7 Gen 4 paired with up to 12GB RAM and up to 512GB storage. And Realme is known to give great value proposition with the specifications. However, we noticed slight delay in the render times in our testing. Means when playing games like San Andreas, you can see the map elements loading as you play. Now this can be annoying when you're flying a plane and the trees load a bit too late and you end up hitting them. Multitasking is smooth, BGMI at 60 FPS is a breeze, and the high refresh rate screen also adds to the entire gaming experience. However, in this price segment, there are competitors with more powerful processors. But looking past the specifications, this phone has excellent RAM management. Whichever app, wherever you leave it, resumes from the same point 8 out of 10 times. And the Realme UI also has some neat features like AI Genie in the Photos app. Now it can add background and reimagine the images to your liking, but here are two things you should know about it. First, Genie isn't as polished yet, and second, this is not on-device processing, so your images and data can be collected and used. And if you're not okay with it, then we don't recommend using this service. But you can use the Skool Pulse light here to sync with your ringtone or glow a particular color when your best friend calls or your boss calls, and so on. You also get useful features like screen recognition, gloves mode, riding mode, and cool gestures and motion controls to use your phone. But Realme has also sprinkled it with some bloatware that you can disable but cannot entirely remove. And lastly, there's still just 2 years of OS and 3 years of security updates, which is not matching the competition that's offering up to 7 years of updates. In short, the Realme 15 Pro is an optimized phone that makes good use of its specifications. Realme UI has some bloatwares but also has a couple of useful features too. The optimizations show when it comes to Realme 15 Pro's battery backup. You easily get more than a full day of backup with moderate usage. However, we have now seen 5000 mAh phones do the same, which makes us wonder if this phone can be further optimized to last even longer on a full charge. But this backup is more than sufficient for most users, plus the 80-watt fast charger gets it from 10% to 100% in 1 hour 10 minutes, which is great. This is a difficult one. On one hand, the display, cameras, top-tier specs and the 7000 mAh battery makes the Realme 15 Pro an easy recommendation. But on the other hand, there's the bloatware, the limited software updates that don't really make it ideal for the long term. So if you're looking for a phone with good specs and performance and will be switching in 2 to 3 years, then the Realme 15 Pro here is an easy recommendation. But if you want something with more updates and less bloatware, then you can explore some other options. And for everything you need to know about those other options, hit the Gadgets 360 subscribe button. My name is Manik Beri. You're watching Gadgets 360 and I'll catch you in the next one.